Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to give you 10 latest defense updates. Number 1, France offers Brazil-type nuclear submarine deal to India. After being kicked out of the biggest submarine deal of the decade, sulking France is keen to get on board India's plan to develop 6 nuclear attack submarine programs and has been having talks to offer India conventional technology from its Barracuda class nuclear attack submarine program. Unlike the AUKUS deal, where Australia will also be getting a Rolls-Royce developed PWR-3 nuclear reactor, France's offer to India is in line with what it has offered to Brazil, which is also developing its first nuclear attack submarine in assistance with France. Next, US ready to jointly develop hybrid air defense systems with India. The US plans to expand military and technological ties with India as the Biden administration appears to concede that India will refrain from buying Russian equipment only if a similar or better system is on offer to India. And this has opened up space to talks now of co-development of jet engines, drones, next-generation aircraft and naval vessels. United States administration to stop India's purchase of the S-400 system from Russia had offered Patriot MIM-104, a long-range, all-altitude, all-weather air defense system, first, then upgraded its offer to the Terminal High-Altitude Area Defense, that is THAAD, anti-ballistic missile defense system, but that failed to prevent the purchase of S-400 system since it was seen as more than meets Indian requirement and much more cost-effective than American systems on offer. Next, seeking government nod for NGO PV and NGMV warship programs by Navy. Cabinet Committee on Security or the Ministry of Defense likely will be clearing key naval projects like that of Generation Offshore Patrol Vessels NGOPV and Next Generation Missile Vessels, that is NGMV, that has been held up for some time now as the financial year nears end soon. DAC accorded approval for the procurement of 6 indigenously designed next generation offshore patrol vessels for the Navy for rupees 4,941 crore in 2018. Next, Indo-Russia defense firm eyes $200 MN missiles deal with Indonesia. India-based defense company Brahmos Aerospace expects to close a deal this year to sell Indonesia supersonic cruise missile worth at least $200 million as it looks to expand its presence in Southeast Asia, its chief executive said on Wednesday. Brahmos, a joint venture between India and Russia, clinched its first foreign deal last year with a $375 million sale of shore-based anti-ship missiles to the Philippines, part of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ambitious push to triple defense exports. Next, first of 4 Abort missions of Gaganyan in May. The first of the 4 Abort missions for India's maiden human spaceflight Gaganyaan is planned for May this year, the Lok Sabha was informed on Wednesday. The first test vehicle mission TVD-1 is planned in May 2023, followed by the second TVD-2 mission and first uncrewed mission of Gaganyaan LVM-3G1 in the first quarter of 2024. Minister of State for Science and Technology Jitendra Singh said in a written reply in the Lok Sabha. Next, Senate confirms Garcetti as ambassador to India. The Senate on Wednesday confirmed Eric Garcetti, the former mayor of Los Angeles, to be the U.S. ambassador to India, ending a 2-year saga that left a top diplomatic post vacant amid allegations that he mishandled workplace misconduct and sexual harassment. He was confirmed by a vote of 52 to 42, with the new Democratic senators who had expressed deep reservation voting no, but several more Republicans voting in favor of moving forward, effectively saving Mr. Garcetti's bid from collapse. Next. OneWeb's satellite fitted inside Indian rocket's heat shield. The second batch of 36 satellites belonging to the US-based Network Access Associated Limited OneWeb has been fitted inside the Indian rocket LVM-3's heat shield. In a tweet, OneWeb said, "Exciting news from India as we confirm the encapsulation of our 36 satellites ahead of OneWeb Launch 18, our final launch, which will complete our Gen 1 constellation, thanks to our OneWebers on site, as well as our colleagues at ISRO, Anand, NSIL, India." Next. USNS Matthew Perry arrives in India for repairs. The USNS Matthew Perry, a replenishment ship for the US Navy, docked at Larsen and Toubro Kattupalli shipyard on March 11 for repairs. According to our sources, there is an opportunity to move up the value chain, eventually undertaking major repairs and refit, positioning India as a regional hub. Military and security cooperation between India and the United States has grown significantly in recent decades, with India recently signing all foundational agreements and acquiring military hardware and platforms from the United States. Next. Ukraine war. Is India complying with the Russian crude oil price cap? Opinion. En route to New Delhi this month, US officials proclaimed themselves satisfied that India is buying Russian oil below G7 price caps designed to undercut Moscow's war in Ukraine without disrupting global energy flows. Market experts and even some of those involved in the energy trade say it's not so clear. India's consumption of Russian crude was minimal and sporadic before President Vladimir Putin's forces attacked Ukraine, but it has soared since, becoming a key tool for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's bid to fight energy inflation. Next. Bold Kurukshetra concludes at Jodhpur. What is it? Joint India-Singapore exercise call. The Singapore Army and the Indian Army participated in the 13th edition of exercise Bold Kurukshetra, a bilateral armor exercise from 6 to 13 March at Jodhpur Military Station, India. For the first time in the exercise series, both armies participated in a command post exercise which involved battalion and brigade level planning elements and computer wargaming. Hosted by the Indian Army, the exercise involved soldiers from the 42nd Battalion Singapore Armoured Regiment and an armed brigade of the Indian Army.